Alrighty guys, welcome back to another GGF build video. This one here is our most recent build. It's our sort of Snow White build. That's what the theme I called it. It's pretty much a white Corsair 450D. So I did get a standard stock black one and just simply painted the whole exterior white. So you can sort of see it is fully white. And now a lot of people ask me, how do I paint these cases and so on. I've never actually had any prior training. It's all sort of self-taught. It's just a matter of sort of learning as you go. Keep on trying it on different things. I've been doing this for quite a few years now, and it's just a matter of getting the paint to the right consistency, priming it right, and having the right equipment as well. Also, this is just the magnet you get with the ROG Mars card, which I just stuck on there to add some effect. So the reason I'm doing a video on this, I've had quite a few people ask me what's in it. Sort of the theme is pretty sort of far out. It looks pretty decent in photos, and yeah, I've just had a lot of general questions about it. So yeah, so the first thing is the case is the Corsair 450D. That's where it did say Corsair, but unfortunately that's been painted over, and nothing on the front, nice and clean. And then you just got the fans in there. They're actually some cool Master Jet Flo fans, because I really love the red rings that they make. So pretty much red and white is the main colors here. Alright, so that's the side panel, move that out. Alrighty, so moving down on some of the, we'll go over all the hardware, and then we'll go over what mods I've done. So CPU pretty much has a refresh. I think it's a 4540, whatever, is about $200. That's the CPU. I don't get sponsored CPUs, so I have to normally buy all the CPUs for my rigs. That's why they're not like 4770Ks or top of the line, because I had to do that for every mod. Once you add up paint and all that, it can sort of add up. Power supply is the AX1200i, which has been modded white to match the theme. The only sort of issues with that is I just had to do some sort of taping around the logo, because you can't really peel this off. It's like sort of like one of those security sort of stickers. You start peeling it and you start losing all the color under it. So had to tape around that. It would be good if I could try and get some proper Corsair sleeve cables from the start, so then it would be either white or red from there, which would look pretty sweet. Moving up to the cards, they're the Asus DCU 780s. They're not TIs, standard 780s, which I've done the same theme, same red paint and white. So if you look underneath, you might just see that if I can get low enough. They're the fans as well, so they actually look really sweet. There's a few photos of those going around as well. I'm moving up to the RAM and SSD. So ADATA has sponsored the RAM. That's 8 gig of 2400. It's a new XPG V2, I believe. That was their bright yellow gold. I've had to paint that red. And then we have the ADATA SSD as well, 128 gig, the SX900. This is a really nice SSD, really fast, and it's actually quite cheap. Now a lot of people said, why is it sticking there? It's actually not sort of sticking there, it's actually screwed in. You can see there's a sort of right angle tab that came on the case right there. I don't know why. Right there, and it already had a screw hole in there, so I just simply used the screw hole on the side of the SSD. And if you stand back, it really does sort of show off the SSD. Now the SSD doesn't really match the theme. A lot of people said I should paint it, but I couldn't really just sort of paint over that, because I really wanted ADATA to be seen for that. The motherboard is the Z87 Sabertooth from Asus, which I also took off the armor top and painted that white. I actually think that turned out really well. If you stand back, you can sort of get the idea on how it looks. And also the cooler is the new NZXT X61, so that's two 140mm there. I've actually got two of these coolers. Only one's in at the moment, but I've used the fans from both of them to put on here. So these are the NZXT 140mm fans as well. I just use them because they match the theme. This is very, very loud. I haven't bothered tuning any of the fans yet. They're all running at full ball. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, including the two Cool Master ones, all at full bore, so it is pretty loud. Pretty sure these are the Corsair AF, I think. They're just the high performance ones. I just got whatever was available. So it's pretty much for, oh yeah, and down the bottom You pretty much can't even see this in any of the builds, but that's the Asus, I don't know if it's ROG, but I think it's the Asus ROG Raidr 240 gig SSD, so that's really fast. That's in there. The actual OS is running off there, and then up the top there, I think I just got some games on it, and that's pretty much it for all the hardware. So some of the mods, the back motherboard tray is what I added. I said in a previous video I add motherboard trays on nearly all my builds, and we can get in there for a hole. I just use a step drill to do the hole. It's just pretty much a drill that just gets bigger, bigger, bigger the more you go down. And then all my holes, I put sandpaper in them and then brasso and polish them up so the holes look really nice like the rest of the plexi. And then there's another hole, where are we, in there, and then there's another hole, you probably can't see it, in there for the PSU cable. So that's pretty much it. That's the only holes that are needed, and then it just makes it look really sort of flush, really nice red, and it looks really good in person. When checking it out, you can see it up there. And then I just added a bit of a basement down on the bottom, so I added black. Thought I would add black because it kind of hides the cables around here. So that's pretty much it. We'll just finish off by turning it on. I do like how the NZXT cooler does light up when the system's like not powered on, but it's got power. So if I turn it on, so it is rather loud. It's probably not picking up too much in the video, but it's a shame we really can't see those fans because they really do look nice. And then those ones there. And if you can see on the front, you can just see those ones. It's going to be hard in the dark, but they're the really nice ones with the ring around them. So that's pretty much it on this build. It actually took me less than 24 hours to do this, from starting from painting. Actually, I did these video cards. I did these video cards a few weeks later, but to do everything else took less than 24 hours. Painting the case, the motherboard, letting that dry, cutting out the perspex backing, the bottom, doing the power supply, all of that, installing it was pretty much under 24 hours. So I was pretty happy with that. And then doing the video cards separately about a few weeks later took probably 2 days to do the video cards. They're actually much harder than I thought. There's so much sort of fine detail work you have to do by pulling it off, then pulling off all the little decals. They're actually not stickers, they're actually sort of bits of aluminium, then sticking them all back on, making sure you don't bend anything. So it does take quite a while to do all that, but I actually think the video card was really worth it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this coverage. Stay tuned for more modding videos in the future.